Welcome back to Marketing for Your Future. I am your host, David Benfield. On the show, we speak to digital marketing experts from all across the country to help make you a better digital marketer yourself. So, joining me today from St. Louis, Missouri is Ryan Green with Coegi. Ryan, how you doing today?
Doing well, David. How are you?
I am spectacular, thank you, sir. So, Coegi, talk to me about the name, and then tell me about your company. What do you guys do?
So Coegi is Latin. It means to bring together, and we bring together technology to execute digital media buys. We're a tech-enabled performance media agency serving a lot of challenger brands, independent agencies here in the Midwest, and our headquarters are in Columbia, Missouri. Actually been around almost 8 years now. Are up to 50 employees through organic growth and just putting our working boots on and doing good work for our clients. Not trying to be the heroes ourselves, but make our clients our heroes. So we've done a really good job, I think, of bringing together the people, platforms, and technologies that are needed to, really execute digital media buying in the 21st century.
I dig it. So this is not your first career. This is your second career. So talk to me about how you got into this second career. What did you see that was going on where you were like, got to make the switch and this is what I'm going to do?
Well, I was originally a professional poker player. I played internet poker during the dot-com bubble in the mid-2000s. I did that for
different.
6.5 years. Yeah, a little bit different, but pretty similar in some ways. I was running a big data experiment with poker. I was really able to translate a lot of the learnings you have at that intersection of data and people to digital marketing, because that's what it is, right? You're as a marketer, you're looking at multiple KPIs, you're looking at analytics, you're needing to know what's happening behind the screen, that qualitative analysis that can be the tipping point and be most important too. So it was actually a really natural progression for me. And it was something that's always changing. I'm somebody who's hungry for growth and to be a lifelong learner, and to have a field to be able to experiment with, I think is so important too. So there's actually more in common with it than you would think.
That's very interesting. I honestly, I wouldn't have put the two together, but now that you say that, it does make quite a bit of sense. So it's Marketing for the Future. We like to talk about the future here. And so let's prognosticate. Let's talk about the future. What do you see the biggest change in the industry moving forward, say maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the road?
Well, we certainly started as a programmatic company, so I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the deprecation of the third-party cookie. And a lot of people are, at least on our side, are a little scared about not being able to have as precise of targeting. But I think the biggest thing is going to be on measurement. We have used pixel data to measure a lot of the success of our campaigns. And I would argue that a lot of digital marketers were using the wrong signal anyways. They were looking at a lot of click-based attribution. I think it was a fool's errand to try to do multi-touch attribution modeling. And I think measurement's really going to change in the next couple of years. The way that you define what ROI is, the way that we, like a tech-enabled business like ourselves, are able to still use data to be able to make decisions, but to look at things at a higher level. We may be doing more match market tests. We may be doing a lot more incremental lift studies, and maybe some more old school ways of measuring the success of a campaign. I think it also means that we're going to have to marry data together that's not necessarily media driven. We need to look at things like COVID data to be able to action and decide where we're going to place ads. We may want to, be able to take our clients' sales data and be able to marry that next to our media metrics. We may be looking at things like the weather, or looking at things like the economy, and making those some micro decisions on that basis. So measurement's really where my company is focused on, making sure that we measure what matters and find the signal in the noise that's going to predict where our best campaigns and where our best customers come from.
Nice. So what about for new folks, right? We've got a lot of new marketers and advertisers and ad specialists that watch this show. So what piece of advice would you give them on your way out the door here? We got about 30 seconds left. So if you have a 30-second pitch of like, this is what you need to learn in order to like kick yourself off to the next level of success? What do you got for me?
I would try to concentrate on 3 channels, and it may not even matter what those 3 channels are, but don't feel like you have to master everything. Even in social, we can place ads now in 15 different places. You have to have organic followings on TikTok and Snapchat, along with the Facebook and Googles of the world, right? To be able to really play on those. Try to just concentrate on doing a really good job of marketing in a couple different areas, right? But not all of them all at once. You're not going to become an expert overnight, and to be able to think that you need to manage all of those channels is going to be too challenging. But I would also think about the places where you can tell the best story. Paid search is great, and it probably does give you some immediate return, but you don't really tell a story there. Think about video. Think about where your customer, and think about where you get the most impact from advertising campaigns, and take sometimes more of a qualitative analysis to your decision making.
Nice. I love that. All very good advice. So focus in. Don't try to be, don't try to be the jack of all trades and then you're a master of none.
Correct.
Focus in on what you need to do. We got to get ahead of the cookies coming out of here, right? Like, so we need to find ways to focus in on that data as well. And yeah, that's fantastic. Great job, Ryan. I really appreciate it.
And I also say for agency folks too, that the world's really changing on how agencies operate. And if you're not a tech-enabled agency, if you're not looking for automated efficiencies to streamline your work process, you're already behind the curve. So you really need to think about not just how media can be to provide efficiency from like a CPM or a cost perspective, but you also need to think about how workflow within your agency and within your marketing practice can be assisted with AI as well.
Very cool. Keep that in mind, folks. Ryan, thank you so very much for your time today. We really appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks, David. Anytime. I'd love to come back.
You got it. We'll have you again. So if you'd like to learn more about Coegi, you can head to dailyadbrief.com. That's going to do it for us here on Marketing for Your Future. We'll see you in the future.